Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Lauren Neidigh. Like I said, I'm going to be expecting a lot of stuff to come up on the docket in the next couple of days. We're going to make this a quick one. Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties have responded to Leslie Sloane's attempt to stall discovery. Now, I think it was on Friday that Sloane filed for a motion for stay of discovery. We're going to read the opposition's response to that right now. If I would just share my screen first. 1 sec. All right, here we go. Dear Judge Lyman, as counsel for the Wayfarer parties, we object to Leslie Sloane and Vision PR Incorporated's request for an order pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 26, staying discovery as to them pending a determination of their motion to dismiss. Pursuant to Rule 26C, the court has discretion to issue a protective order on matters relating to discovery upon a showing of good cause. The burden of showing good cause for the issuance of a protective order falls on the party seeking the order. Okay. Discovery should not be routinely stayed simply on the basis that a motion to dismiss has been filed. Okay. A court determining whether to grant a stay of discovery pending a motion must look to the particular circumstances and posture of each case. Courts should consider multiple factors, including the breadth of discovery sought, the burden of responding to it, the prejudice that would result to the party opposing the stay, and the strength of the pending motion forming the basis of the request for stay. The Sloane parties have not demonstrated that a stay of discovery is warranted. First, the Sloane parties have not demonstrated that the discovery sought from it will be burdensome. Although the Sloane parties complain about the number of categories of documents sought and the number of interrogatories propounded by the Wayfarer parties, the Sloane parties simultaneously contend that several of the document requests have no discernible relevance to the case and that the Sloane parties' role in the overall dispute is small. Sorry about that. Just had to fix something. Okay. All right. If the Sloane party's position is that the Wayfarer party's demands exceed the scope of discovery permitted by Rule 26b1, which the Wayfarer parties dispute, then the Sloane parties can assert such an objection in a formal response thereto, and the parties will meet and confer about the demands and compliance with your honor's individual practices. Here we go again, where they're calling him your honor. I know that they have to do that, but still, it just sounds silly to me. Furthermore, if the Sloane party's role in the dispute is small, as they claim, but which the Wayfarer parties dispute, then it should not be unduly burdensome for them to produce documents and information concerning that alleged minor role in the dispute. That's a good point. The Sloane party's motion refers to the court's recent order granting the New York Times motion to stay discovery. However, in that order, the court reasoned that the New York Times' intention to invoke rights under New York's Shield Law raises delicate and complicated issues which would increase the burden of responding to discovery. The Sloane parties do not and cannot argue that any similar delicate or complicated discovery issue exists with respect to the information sought from them. While the Sloane parties contend that discovery is particularly burdensome because several of the Sloane parties' direct business competitors are parties to this action, any concern that they have about producing purported confidential and sensitive business information is allayed by this court's entry of a protective order. Regardless of whether some or all of the Wayfarer parties' claims against the Sloane parties are dismissed, which is doubtful, the Sloane parties are material witnesses with respect to the other claims herein. Hence, the Sloane parties will have discovery obligations as a non-party. Okay. Although the court held that we're talking about the Times again. Although the court held that the dimensions of the discovery that is permitted may vary depending on whether the New York Times is a defendant or a third party, and whether it was acting in a journalistic capacity or, as the Wayfarer parties allege, as a co-conspirator with the Lively parties, the Sloane parties are not journalists and therefore cannot assert similar privileges as the New York Times. Second, the Wayfarer parties will be unfairly prejudiced by a stay of discovery sought from the Sloane parties. As the Sloane parties acknowledge, they have served discovery requests upon the Wayfarer parties. In any event, the lack of prejudice to the Wayfarer parties is insufficient to stay discovery given the other factors weighing against a stay. Third, the Sloane parties have not made a strong showing that the Wayfarer parties' claims against them are unmeritorious. The Sloane parties attempt to paint a false picture that the Wayfarer parties have not meaningfully opposed the motion to dismiss. In truth, the Wayfarer party's opposition to the Sloane party's motion to dismiss is robust, persuasive, and warrants the denial of the motion to dismiss. Contrary to the Sloane party's criticism about impermissible group pleading, the First Amended complaint adequately notifies the Sloane parties that the allegations against them are that they engaged in a conspiracy with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, collectively the Lively parties, to spread false and defamatory information about the Wayfarer parties to various media outlets, including the Daily Mail and the New York Times, and principally pertained to accusations that Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath engaged in sexual misconduct towards Blake Lively, and that the Wayfarer parties orchestrated a retaliatory smear campaign to damage Lively's image and reputation after she reported their purported misconduct. As set forth more fully in the Wayfarer party's opposition to the dismissal motion, the First Amended complaint adequately states claims for defamation, civil extortion, and false light under the applicable California law. Indeed, the First Amended complaint specifically alleges that the Sloane parties made statements to reporters referring to Baldoni as a sexual predator and accusing him of sexual assault. Allegations which the court must assume are true and which the Sloane parties cannot legitimately contend are insufficient to support causes of action for defamation and false light. Although the Sloane parties argue that even the dismissal of only some, but not all of the claims against them would drastically narrow the scope of party discovery, they neglect to explain how that outcome would narrow discovery, let alone drastically, given the Wayfarer party's allegation that the Sloane parties engaged in conspiracy with the Lively parties to disseminate false and defamatory information concerning the Wayfarer parties. We respectfully request that the court deny the Sloane party's motion for stay of discovery. All right, and that just hit the docket. So, like I said, I'm expecting a lot in the next couple of days, guys. So I'm going to keep this one short. That was only a 4-page reading, so luckily. If you guys could do me a favor and like this stream, it would really help my channel out. I'll be back with, I'm sure, more updates later today. I just have to get back to work because every time I take a break from work that's over my allotted break time, I have to work late. So, so I'm going to get back to it right now so that I don't have to do that. I'm sure I'll be back to read some more to you guys soon. I'll post a link to this document in the comments of this video, in the post tab on my YouTube channel, and on my Twitter account. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.